Association of Broadcasters Award winner. And he snapped a ball through his legs.
Wait, why does your name get to go first?
Shut up.
This is Scone and T.
Because they made us.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's going on? We're live here at Curbside. Are we out here? Oh, let's go, guys. Heck
How about
that?
Dude. Just disturbing people's dinner.
Yeah, I hope everybody's
What
having
up,
a great night
everybody?
out there tonight. What's up, kids?
Welcome into Scone and T. We're at Curbside, Government Street in Baton Rouge. He's T-Bob. I'm Matt. We're glad you're bored with us here. Oh, if you're on YouTube, smash the like button.
Glad you're bored with us?
Glad you're aboard.
Aboard. Okay, yeah, that's a
Aboard?
lot of lifting.
Yeah, that's it's a preposition. Wouldn't aboard be a preposition in this situation? It works as a preposition.
I forgot about prepositions. I only know it's one of the 8 parts of speech.
So a preposition,
under,
yeah, it's
above,
like you always say like
something.
in relation to the box, right? Like above the box, over the box,
Okay.
under the box, next to the box. Well, next to, I don't know if that works. Beyond the box. Anyway,
I've always been
I had a
just an adjective man
okay.
myself in terms of what my favorite part of speech is.
Okay. Please smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, all that good stuff. Big shout out to our friends at Curbside. Awesome spot here. If you've never been, great spot on Government Street, Mid-City. Beautiful night tonight, man.
Beautiful night tonight.
TVs everywhere. Kids
Perfect
running
place to
around.
watch football,
God,
dude.
good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And we'll be here every Thursday, 7 p.m. for the entirety of football season. So you want to come hang out, have some beers, have the kids run around, and watch Thursday night football, both college and NFL. It's all here for you.
All right,
at
man.
Curbside. And delicious burgers. Dude. And honestly, this week I got a chicken sandwich with a little bacon and cheese on it on Wednesday, the Gale spicy chicken
It's really
with
good.
bacon on it, and it was unreal,
Yeah.
dude. I love
Um,
Curbside. Fries are great. Tots are great, too.
A lot we're going to delve into here. We'll get some conversation about LSU, South Alabama. Bama, Georgia is the big one this weekend we got to talk about as well. So a lot to do here over the next hours. Get your questions in the chat if you're watching. Do you want to start with a thought, just a punctuation thought on UCLA as you put that one to bed? before we
Yeah,
transition?
no, I mean, look, man, I come away from UCLA not as not as frustrated as others. I think there's a lot of good that is getting lost and kind of erased and overlooked because of what people had in their head about who this team was going to be preseason versus who they are. And I understand that this is maybe not, this defense, for instance, is not the resounding statistical turnaround story that many of us were hoping it was going to be. Harold Perkins did not have the Damone Clark type of all of a sudden, 16 half tackles, 6 sacks, all that. Like the signature hasn't exactly been locked down, but
in fairness, it was only 3 games.
well, I mean, not just that. There's a million, but I'm saying, look, I'm trying to speak to I think what people's emotions are right now.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people had higher expectations. before the season.
Really?
I would say absolutely.
I
would say
mean,
absolutely.
my thought on this defense was like, just don't be the worst ever. Like, could you be top 60? Like,
Yeah.
that would be dramatic and still could happen. I mean,
I think, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like the overall point is, I feel like people thought the team was going to be a bit better out the gates. They were not, and so that's created a sense of anger now, where everything that kind of goes wrong next creates more anger. Whereas I'm looking, okay, you have Braden Swinson, who's been SEC Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row now, and it goes back to the question that we asked after Whiskey and Wine. How do we get to a place where we watch a quarterback throw 72%, 353 tuds, and we go meh? And then he wins SEC Offensive Player of the Week.
he's so good. I just can't believe there were people that were poo-pooing Nuss after that game. Like, he was awesome.
And it's not.
He's been awesome throughout the whole start of the season.
I think he becomes almost a, the quarterback is the easiest way to distill any football conversation, right? You just make it about the quarterback and the coach, and all nuances thrown out the window. And when it's a boring game, kind of like that one was, but a sleepy day, hot day, then they're gonna that kind of tepid energy is gonna get transferred to the coach and the quarterback, which is why my overall point with the game is take a step back. You won 34-17. You completely dominated the second half. There's only one group in that stadium that did not wilt under the heat, and that was LSU. It was an unbearably hot out there, and LSU, the team, were the toughest people on the field. It did not faze them one bit. In that second half, you came out, the defense got off the ball, you go 90-plus yards, defense gets off the field, 90-plus yards, like dominant statement sort of drive. So I'm and at one point you have five freshmen playing on the defense at the same time.
I know.
Like, you're young, you're going to get better, you're improving. And you just got to, and again, I think it's because year three, Brian Kelly, year three, I think is a bit off schedule, right? If you'd have told me year three, I would have had higher expectations than I have for this team right now, but I still really like this team right now. The defense is coached better. They play harder. They're not as out of position. And you're watching guys learn and figure it out. Like, Ahmad Bro represents everything I love about this team right now. Just a young guy that's been thrown into the deep end, but is fighting his butt off, and he has really good technique and a lot of potential. And quite frankly, it's fun to watch.
Well, it's tough because I think the collective fan base doesn't want to hear about you're getting better for the future. And that's the really tough part.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like it's very, I did this on AFR today. I went and looked at the snap counts for all the defensive freshmen, and it's this very obvious increase for guys like Bro and Deshaun Spears, where every week you can see they went from like 7 snaps to 17 snaps to 31 snaps to 47 snaps. It's like they are very clearly, and I think we talked about this last week on the show, they're very clearly doing defensively what they did 2 years ago with the offensive line, with the tackles, with Jones and Campbell. I said, you know what, you're the best we got. Just, we're going to play you and you're going to get better, and we're going to take our lumps and you're going to go. And they're doing that right now with Relaford, and they're going to start with Don McKinley and with Spears and with Bro. And it's just what they're going to do. And they're going to keep getting better. The tough part is, like, you would like to think that they're beyond that, but the problem is the big miss for Brian Kelly was at the beginning in 2022, he made bad hires, like getting rid of Corey Raymond, set your secondary, and bringing in Robert Steebles, set your secondary back. That's why you're where you are right now, feeling like you're starting over playing freshman safety. And guess what? Next year when DJ Pickett comes, he's going to be starting game 1 at cornerback. So, like, I get it, but you're going to be better off when Ahmad Bro and Don McKinley and this next wave that come in, if you end up getting Jakeem Stewart, like, the cavalry's on the way, man. Like, your talent is going to resemble what it looks like to be a championship team again. It's just not going to be this year. I think that's the bummer for a lot of people. It's like you just have to wait again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, like, maybe this is just age, but we only have so many football seasons.
Yeah.
So, like, are you going to drive yourself crazy just thinking every single day about how disappointed you are that you're paying for some of those original sins? Or
that's what it is.
Are you going to do the serendipity prayer and accept the things you cannot change and just enjoy this team for where it's at? Because, again, I think I think the future is very bright. Obviously, I still believe in the staff longer term and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think this team is fun, and I think they're scrapping, and I think they're playing really hard, and whatever. It's football, man, and I love watching football, and I love watching LSU win, and they've been they're getting better. They're getting better week to week.
Sorry,
and this is not
I'm trying to move
just,
the camera closer. It's way too far.
This is not to just pump sunshine.
You're a sunshine pumper, you know it.
Well, no, I mean, that's the thing. Though. I keep consistently telling people that I don't. I think they're going to lose to Ole Miss, right? And when they lose to Ole Miss, we're going to criticize. And we're going to get angry and all these sorts of things.
Whiskey and wine's going to be fun.
But my point is, if you expect me to be mad when they beat UCLA 34-17 or beat South Carolina, no, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad at a win.
Well, here's what, dude. If this team can find a way to do for 4 quarters what they did in the second half against UCLA, they can be really good, man. I'm not telling you they're going to be awesome, but they could win home games against Ole Miss or Bama. They could beat Oklahoma. They could beat A&M. Like, there are good wins out there. I know it doesn't feel like it, but dude, if we went back and looked at all the comments from Whiskey and Wine as soon as the game last year against Florida State ended, like, people wanted to bench Jaden Daniels, and they thought the team would send out. The defense was atrocious. But go back 2 years ago, like, you would have never thought that team's beaten Alabama and winning the West. So, like, I know it's tired and I say it all the time, but you can improve, and this team is going to keep improving, and those young guys are going to play better. So I tend to agree with you. exist in a week-by-week silo. Like, watch
Yeah.
LSU play South Alabama this week and see if some of those young guys play better. If you eliminate some of the mistakes that, look, this is going to look similar offensively to what you saw against South Carolina. This is going to be a team that's going to spread you out and try to run it with a quarterback and a big running back. So it's let's see if you can prevent the 75-yard busted play touchdown run this week, which bit you against South Carolina twice. So, that
didn't get you against UCLA. I mean, I want to see like things that you saw against UCLA. I want to see like Coach Kelly talked about this week. When if the game plan is to play a lot of single high and go man up like they were against UCLA, take away some of those inside routes with the inside leverage. Right now, it's been way too easy for receivers to win one-on-ones and slant type of situations. Like, but in that same way, that's very clear and definable thing to improve on. Whereas last year, it was like, well, I don't know what to fix because the coverage was so busted. Nobody looked like they were on the same page. I don't even know what the actual coverage is supposed to be.
I know.
So this is what I just keep trying to tell people. I know statistically there's a lot of things you point to are that say it's kind of the same old defensively, but if watching the games, I just don't feel that. I just don't feel that.
Here's all right. This isn't pumping sunshine. This is just an honest assessment. It is so abundantly clear that the defensive front is way better than anybody thought they were going to be. We can look at those long runs and think,
especially
it's not. Sheesh. The edge guys, like I thought they were going to be good at ends. Winston was good last year, and Saban Jones was good. We talked about some of the young guys. Like I'm not surprised by them. Now I'm surprised that Braden Swinson has 7 sacks in 4 games. Like that's otherworldly. But I thought they'd be good. But the interior players, especially after losing Guillory, like they've been good. Man, Ahmad Bro is playing well. It was nice to see Don McKinley get some run. Jalen Lee's hurt, but you're getting Washington and Paez giving you reps. I mean, nobody's playing more than like 30 snaps on the defensive interior. So you're keeping this full rotation of fresh bodies in there that are all kind of interchangeable.
Well, that's what's kind of interesting, right? They may not all right now have the highest talents, but interchangeable is the correct word.
Yeah.
They're kind of level enough where you can prioritize fresh legs, and it's a pretty good strategy. Because it's not like the year when you have to have Christian Lagator play 96% of the snaps because you knew he was just clearly better. Like it was a steep drop off, right? You can weave these guys in and out and not suffer as much. And again, the technique they're playing with, their hands, how they're extending on blocks. Like, they still get pushed a little bit, for sure. Like they're not just out here dominating, but they're playing with such more grounded and solid technique.
Bo Davis is really good.
Yeah.
Hey, we're here at Curbside. We're also brought to you by AVID Inspection Specialists. Big thanks to our sponsors who are the reason we get to do this, right? The reason we get to come here and do the show is because Curbside invited us here, and they're awesome, and they give us this really cool setup. And also Christian and the gang over at AVID Inspection Specialists. It's residential and commercial inspection, so it doesn't matter if it's your home, hotels, warehouses. They do new home warranty inspections after the purchase. They can inspect prior to the warranty periods and ending with a list of defects to give to the builder. They do mold inspections as well. I can tell you one of the things that my parish partners who have the restoration do, like they've done a lot of business with Christian and AVID. So if it's mold inspections, lead, asbestos, they can do all of that. It's AVID Inspection Specialists. Go to avidspecialists.com. I just posted the link in the YouTube chat. But again, the website is avidspecialists.com. avidspecialists.com.
And look, finally, y'all are happy. Scone and T was back. It took a triumvirate to make it happen. And Bayou Transformers is the last piece of the puzzle there. Because when your Transformers down, they understand. I don't understand anything.
I don't understand it either.
But they understand it's an inconvenience, right? It's like a literal cost to your business. So at Bayou Transformers, they understand how urgent it is. They're constantly ready to assist whatever you need, whether it's maintenance, reconditioning, full replacement, get you back to full power swiftly and efficiently. And guys, a 5-year warranty on all rebuilt Transformers, rapid turnaround time. So look, your solution for all your Transformer needs, BayouTransformers.com, BayouTransformers.com.
Okay, we'll get to a lot of your questions, comments. Keep them coming. Shout out to Cortland, Sharman, DJ Trauma, T-Pow, everybody who's watching. Dane, thanks for being there. Y'all, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Daniel Roof, Brennan Huff, thanks to everybody for being here with us tonight. I've been hearing you and Jake on OTB talk about Bama, Georgia. and I want to talk about this a little bit with you because I think we disagree wholeheartedly on this. I don't want to speak for you, but if you want to go first, give me your take, and then I'll give you mine.
I think I'll just say my most succinct take. I think the teams are very similar. I think Bama is slightly stronger on paper, but I think that Georgia wins the game.
Okay.
I think that really I'm just it's because Georgia has to win. Kirby Smart cannot lose to Kalen DeBoer. Like, I'm literally just picking Georgia because Kirby Smart's been there 10 years, and this is Kalen DeBoer's first year.
That's a good reason to do it.
But like on paper, they're really like coin flip even, basically to me. Only I think I see the parallel. I see what happened last year in the SEC championship, where Carson Beck's going against by far the best defense he'll face, the best secondary he'll face. And he looked ineffective then. And then he had the big turnover, which if he doesn't have that, maybe it's all different, right? But he did have the big turnover that day. Whereas Milroe, on a day when neither team could really run the ball or get anything going, what did Milroe do? He won high volume guys, like 13 to 23 for 178, but he had the 2 touchdowns, right? And he could use his legs when he had to for a couple moments. So that all is still in play to me. But again, Georgia is this is the craziest stuff I ever heard. Georgia's 49-2 in their last 51 games. Their only 2 losses are the SEC championships to Bama, but they've also lost 7 of their last 8 to Alabama.
Yeah.
So look, Daddy Nick is gone. Kirby's been there forever. I think Georgia has to win this game, even though I think Bama looks a little bit better on paper.
Okay, before Georgia kicked off against Kentucky, there is not a soul listening outside of those that cloak themselves in crimson and white that would have given Alabama an Ice Cube's chance in hell to win this football game. Hold on. We all know because we watched them throttle Clemson.
Yeah.
And we watched Alabama.
And I agree, Alabama's not done anything as impressive as the
and we watched Alabama in a 1-score game with 6 minutes to go against South Florida on their home field.
But then I didn't really judge them for that hard because of knowing what happened to their O-line and how they separated at the end. Like, I didn't really care about that.
That's fine. That's you. The majority of the world's population that gives a flip about college football, everyone. Georgia was a consensus number 1 team in the country. Now we've seen Texas look good, and so they've overtaken them as one. But Georgia went to Lexington, a place where Kentucky, as an underdog, especially against Georgia, always plays them tough, oddly, but they do. And Georgia won a 13-12 ball game, and then they were off. So we haven't seen them play since that.
Yeah.
And since Alabama had their hiccup at home against South Florida, they went and played Wisconsin and had a get-right game that everyone's like, oh, look, never mind the fact that Wisconsin is dog poop. Like, they just – that is –
and Tyler Van Dyke tore his ACL the first drive, too.
Exactly. Against a backup quarterback of a team that already wasn't any good offensively.
Yeah.
Because Wisconsin is trying to do right now what Nebraska did when they hired Bill Callahan. After 50 years of running the triple option, they're like, you know what we're going to do? All that stuff? Nah. We're going to spread you out. We're going to throw it all over the field.
Yeah.
Forget 50 years of history and all the championships we won. You know what we're going to do? Here it comes. Pow, pow,
I think the
pow,
problem's
pow.
like forget what your area of the country produces.
Right. Precisely.
Yeah.
Play to your strengths, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Bama goes and houses Wisconsin and makes everybody forget about South Florida. And the last thing we saw of Kentucky was the game against, or Georgia was game against Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so people have poo-pooed Georgia. And I'm just sitting there going, are y'all serious? It is Georgia.
I give Georgia the same free pass for Kentucky that I give Bama for South Florida.
Georgia, this is Georgia. Like, Georgia is the team that dethroned Nick and Alabama as the greatest team in college football. Their roster is better than Alabama's. You're telling me Kirby Smart against Kalen DeBoer, and you're going to try to tell me that Georgia isn't going to go in there and wreck? Bro, don't give me this big game Kalen DeBoer. I don't want to hear.
You're being a little
I do not want to hear. I don't care that he was good at Fresno. I don't care that they won by the skin of their teeth 3 times last year at Washington Washington, credit, they won the game. I know you were on that, and I was as well. Credit. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
He's already beaten one of
break on the
Kirby's top lieutenants,
DeBoer.
3-0.
Who cares?
3-0
That is
Dan
the
Lanning.
I heard you. That is the stupidest thing. Dan Lanning has an extension. Okay, well then let's talk about Derek Dooley. And then a lieutenant for Nick Saban.
Well, I mean, I think
let's talk about Jimbo at A&M,
better than
a lieutenant of Nick Saban. Give me a break, man.
Dan Lanning's
Like,
better
don't
than
give me
Dooley,
that crap. Nick Saban is singular. Kirby Smart right now is singular. All right, that's Kirby's a Nick Saban lieutenant. Give me a break.
You
dude.
could also argue that.
Point is,
that's the point.
Georgia.
Yeah, point is
And by the way, Clemson, I don't know if you've noticed since Clemson played Georgia, they scored 66 on App State and 59 on NC State. So if everyone's
App State is garbage.
That's fine. And if everybody's going to go crazy because Tennessee put 51 on NC State, which everyone did, oh my God, 51-10, Clemson scored 59 on them. So why aren't we going bonkers over this Clemson team? The bottom line is, Georgia is still the best roster 1 to 85 in college football. It's not close. I don't care that Lad McConkey, who looks like Nathan,
so you think
the receiver's gone.
You think
I don't care.
Close? You don't think Alabama's close roster-wise?
Not even close, especially after Nick left and half of their roster went into the portal or went pro. They lost 40 guys off last year's roster, T. It's about depth. I'm not saying there's no talent there. I'm not saying they're going to be terrible. What I'm telling you,
number one in passing success rate in the country.
I
and number
don't care. Look who they play, T. I don't care.
Okay.
I saw a highlight of who's the freshman receiver, the kid from Bama, the freshman kid,
Ryan Williams, 17-year-old.
So I see this highlight, and I was doing my cold plunge this morning, and it's Get Up is on the screen, or not Get Up, I guess it was Sports Center, and I'm looking at this while I'm in 50-degree water, trying just to get through it, and somebody's on there going, Jaylen Milroe. It's his ability with his legs and his ability to stretch the field with his arm. And they show this pass that Milroe throws. Oh, my God.
Right on. Thank you, Ray.
They show. Cheers.
Shout out the Galinos.
Okay. So they show this pass, and they're like, look at Jaylen Milroe's ability to throw downfield. They show this pass. I don't know who they play, Chattanooga or somebody. And Ryan Williams, there's nobody within 15 yards of him catching the pass.
But you know that Jaylen Milroe can throw a deep ball.
No, Milroe can't throw a deep ball.
He did it on Georgia last year.
Milroe can throw a deep ball like freaking Stetson Bennett could when there's nobody within 15 yards because they're better than everybody else. Milroe stinks, bro. I'm so sick. Jaylen Milroe is a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal runner. And against a miserable defense like LSU
throw a deep ball.
Because there's nobody guarding his receivers who are better than everybody they play until they play somebody good.
They haven't even had good receivers lately. What are you
kidding me? Like, they have better talent. They've had better talent than everybody. You're going to tell me the kid who transferred in from Georgia that was there last year?
Their biggest problem has been receivers as of late. What are you talking about?
The bottom line, no.
They have a 17-year-old who's clearly their best receiver right now.
But he's also awesome.
He is awesome. He's probably the best weapon in the game.
Jermaine, what's the guy that transferred?
Jermaine Burton.
And then,
what did he do in the SC championship? He didn't do anything.
My boys don't tell me they didn't have guys. They didn't have guys. They didn't have receivers.
Dude, all I'm saying is you've gone too far with the Milroe disrespect.
Milroe stinks. Every time Milroe plays somebody worth a damn defensively, he stinks. Did you see
How
Milroe?
do you explain the SC championship last year where he was the difference? He was the difference. He's why they won.
He stunk because he can run the ball, but he can't throw the football. He threw
for 2 touchdowns.
He threw like 100 yards in that game.
No, he threw for 173 and 2 touchdowns.
Congratulations on your 10 yards
you can
passing.
have your Carson Beck 254.
I don't care about Carson Beck. I'm not sitting here telling you about Carson Beck. This isn't about Carson Beck. It's about Alabama. And I'm telling you, Jaylen Milroe stinks against good defenses, and he's about to face a team that's going to have 4 guys taken in the first round from that defense, including Malachi Starks, who's the best defensive back in college football. They ain't doing nothing again. Georgia is going to go in there and put them in a flipping chokehold for 3 hours. They are not going to move the football. They are not going to freaking score.
Milroe threw for 192 and 2 tuds last year.
Congratulations on what was he? Let's see, 13 of 23. Congrats on 13 completion. So he hit the big one. What was the long that he hit?
Yeah, he hit
congrats. When whenever nobody's like running with, what's the long, they hit a deep one in that game.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what he does. That's my whole point.
Right. When no one's going to run fine, hit one big shot. Anyway, 27-24. Get out of here, dude. Jaylen Milroe stinks. He's atrocious. He's a great athlete, a bad quarterback. And Georgia is going to be so motivated to kick the ever-living
motivation thing
out of Alabama in this game. That defense is going to go into Tuscaloosa and absolutely suffocate that miserable offense from Alabama.
Wait, so Milroe
they're going to wreck that offensive line. Dude, you know what's hilarious? Dude, you know what's hilarious?
In the country last year.
Right, because there's nobody covering their receivers.
And he's the third highest this year.
It's the Stetson Bennett effect. It's the Stetson Bennett effect.
But Stetson wasn't good in the regular season.
Trash. Stetson Bennett is a trash quarterback. No. When you're 26 years old and you have all day to throw because you have 5 NFL linemen in front of you, and then you just throw passes to dudes that are open by 7 yards. I could make those passes.
Yeah, so
Stetson Bennett is garbage.
The reason why you're
Bennett is garbage.
No.
Jaylen Milroe is garbage.
The reason why you're clearly wrong about this and why Stetson Bennett was different is that
he wasn't. He was terrible.
He was incredible in playoff and championship games. When he played the best defenses and when he played in the biggest games, he would turn it up to another level that you did not see in the regular season.
Bro, do not try to tell me that he was awesome in the championship game against TCU because I could have played quarterback for Georgia against TCU.
He beat Ohio State. He beat C.J. Stroud and Ohio State. What do you mean?
He didn't beat nothing, bro.
Okay.
Georgia's defense, bro.
Georgia's defense is really good.
And Ohio State's inability to kick a field goal. How bad is that?
So who exactly then is going to find success against Alabama's defense?
Everybody.
Okay.
Georgia is so much better. So much better. I cannot believe how many people have forgotten this is Georgia and Nick Saban.
Georgia's still the favorite on the road.
And 2 points. And Nick Saban isn't there anymore. Like Nick Saban is the variable. Like he is the singular, the greatest coach in the history of this sport. You have removed the greatest coach ever, and you've taken talent to the NFL and guys in the transfer portal off this team. Bro, last year, Parker Brailsford, right, is the center at Alabama now.
Yeah.
Who transferred in from Washington.
Yeah.
Washington won the award that looks like a piano, the big offensive line award.
The Joe Moore Award.
That thing. And they're awesome, right? Awesome.
No, I mean, Michigan.
And then they go and play Michigan, and they get shown to be a Pac-12 offensive line, which is exactly what they were. And so now Bama gets this transfer in from Washington, who just got manhandled by Michigan. How do you think that's going to go against Georgia's defensive front? Give me a break, bro. Bama's fine. They'll win 9 games.
Is good, though.
No, he's not.
So again, we don't.
He stinks.
We don't.
I can't wait for this, man. I may not even watch LSU this weekend.
We don't disagree.
Make it a fill-in for whiskey and wine. I may drive to Tuscaloosa on Saturday and buy a ticket on the 50-yard line behind Alabama's bench just so I can yell Bama is burning and play O Fortuna on my phone the whole game every time Georgia gets a 3 and out, blocks a punt, picks a pass, strip sack, scores. Like every time, I may do that. T, you may just handle whiskey and wine yourself. Like I may go to Tuscaloosa.
I don't care, dude.
I may go to Tuscaloosa on Saturday just to have like a front and center seat to watch this behind whipping that is coming on Saturday.
So we don't. It's funny because we don't disagree about the difference in the game. Because I mean, what was exactly my same thing, right? Smart's been there for 10 years. This is Kalen DeBoer's year 1. Nick Saban's finally gone. You have to beat him. But I think you're being a little flippant with Alabama.
They stink.
No, I mean, that's fine. I'm saying that's where our disagreement will come into place. I think it's a very good Alabama team.
They stink.
I mean, so you said Stetson did nothing against Ohio State in that game?
Stetson stinks.
He threw for 398.
Again, it's so easy when you are sitting there and you're never pressured and you have better talent than everybody and they're wide open.
But not against Ohio State.
Bennett takes against Ohio State.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Dude, this is Georgia.
42-41?
Because they were flipping CJ Stroud. CJ
today.
Stroud, what are you talking? T-Bob.
Okay.
CJ, are you going to try to debate me, CJ Stroud?
Yeah, yes. He's awesome.
Yes, he's awesome.
Stetson was awesome too that day.
T-Bob, I could have played quarterback for that Georgia team.
Oh,
when everybody
man.
on your team is an NFL team, it doesn't matter. Even if you're playing the best college team, like they're still college players.
A whole is greater than the sum of its parts arguments, but I think you're guilty of just being too flippant with Stetson's big game bill. That's
Stetson
fine.
Bennett sucks. If Stetson Bennett had gone and played at LSU, he never sees the field ever.
It's a weird hypothetical. That's up there with like old boy being like if Jaden Daniels in Oregon, he holds a clipboard or whatever. I just
the difference
do not
is
agree.
Jaden Daniels is a transcendent athlete that's starting in the NFL as a rookie through 3 weeks, hasn't thrown an interception, very clearly has an athletic skill set that is.
And Carson Beck might be the number one pick in the draft, and he might end up leaving college without a natty.
And I don't think Carson Beck's very good either, to be very honest with you.
Number one pick in the draft.
Maybe so. And you know who else was the number one pick in the draft? You want to run through like Caleb Williams, who was the guy, Trevor Lawrence, who stinks now. Like, you want to run through the number one picks? It's hard to pick a quarterback. It's easier to play quarterback when your roster is better than literally everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
let me ask you about Alabama's quarterbacks currently in the NFL. How's Mac Jones transition?
It's not going well.
How's Bryce Young transition to the NFL?
Look, you don't have to explain this argument to me. I've talked about
clearly
this argument.
I do.
I've talked about this argument
because you can push it back.
The whole is easy to play.
It's easy to go win a Heisman, Bryce Young, whenever you're throwing to 4 NFL receivers. You got 5 NFL linemen blocking people that aren't going to the NFL.
I don't think Milroe's had that.
Milroe stinks. Milroe stinks. I watched him against Michigan. He stinks.
Look, I hope you're right, man. I would love to drink some salty Bama tears this weekend.
Stinks.
I just don't see it the same way that you do.
Milroe stinks.
I will say this. He said those comments last year after the game about how Georgia didn't want it. And he felt like Georgia basically quit in the third and fourth quarter. All right. Said that last year. And Georgia definitely remembers that. And they're going to be coming for him this weekend.
Milroe stinks.
Okay, look, man, I don't agree, but that's fine, man. You got more. You
Would you like the Saints to draft Jaylen Milroe in the first round?
Hell yeah, dude.
Shut up.
No, I really would.
Slap you.
No, I believe that he could develop. If you're going to take a chance on AR, I could take a chance on Milroe. Absolutely, dude.
And how's that going?
Did you see that overhead touchdown he threw 2 weeks ago? It was unfreaking real, dude.
He was
falling backwards and threw it 70 yards in the air on a rope.
An abomination. Anthony Richardson is an abomination. I mean, congratulations on being.
Allen's not. Josh Allen sucked in college.
Bro, congratulations on being 6'4" and you can throw the ball 80 yards. That's awesome.
I'm saying that's Josh Allen, too,
You were also an awful quarterback.
That was Josh Allen.
He at least played.
That's why Josh Allen screwed up everything for everybody is now. You can always be like, he sucks, but look at Josh Allen. And everyone's like, oh, yeah.
You mean that's what happens whenever you play on a team that isn't full of a bunch of NFL guys?
No, Josh
and you're
Allen
at Wyoming?
Bad. Josh Allen was still bad. Wyoming's a good program.
Don't tell me Wyoming's a good program. Don't you tell me Wyoming's a good program.
Played Texas great last year. Brought him the fourth quarter.
Do not sit here and try to tell me Wyoming's a good football
Cowboys.
program.
What do you mean? Playing in the snow,
Wyoming,
touching the rock,
Wyoming.
Show some respect,
program. Oh my god, dude! I cannot wait to watch it.
You think Wyoming's just like way worse than their peers?
I want to buy a ticket. I want to buy a ticket to Bama, Georgia. I want to go there and watch that.
I want to get revenge on the USA Jags for basically going to one of our border towns, just a tiny little border town.
What are you doing?
Sitting there farming tamales, hanging out, and USA came in and just razed them to the ground. The poor town of Natchitoches, they took them and just burned it. They salted their fields and stole their women. We owe them.
I'm not okay with that, bro.
I'm not okay with it either.
And that's Major too. I love Major Applewhite, Calachi, shout out.
That's what I'm saying. It's time to get revenge for the demons.
How are you gonna go score 87 on them, bro?
Sickening.
That's a weak sauce look, man. I remember
it's because they vastly underperformed the first 2 weeks, and now they've vastly overperformed the analytics the last 2 weeks.
One of Brett Bielema's teams at Arkansas hung like 77. It was one of like those teams that, or maybe it was Chad Morris.
I don't think Chad Morris won a game, so it could have been Chad Morris.
No, I think he won like 3 games and like
Arkansas fan. Chad Morris. Whoa.
One of them, dude.
L. Ron Smith. Whoa.
Elrond is John L. Smith. You idiot.
You know where I get Elrond
L.
from?
Ron Hubbard, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. I know where you were going, but that's John L. Smith, Elrond Smith.
Wow.
John
Winless.
L. Smith.
Winless.
Dude, but seriously, one of those teams, maybe it was Bert. Who was Bert's first year at Arkansas? Anyway, one of his teams, who was absolute trash, went and scored like 77 on some hapless team, and it was like, why would you deserve every bad thing that's coming to you for that? That's just a wrong thing to do.
Look, I agree.
Les Miles is taking a knee with 6 minutes to go at Ole Miss.
We need revenge.
You know what I mean?
We need revenge. That's the bottom line. For the people of Natchitoches, it's time to teach USA a lesson. I'm not about to get Guggenheimed again this Saturday night.
Oh God, Guggenheim.
It is kind of annoying me how cowardly the average person on the street I'm talking to about this game is.
You and I agree on
like
this.
everybody,
go ahead. You and I agree on this.
I mean, what do you mean? How would you about Alabama? Like that was like,
upset
like
alert.
so I finally
Is
went
this
to
the
like
next Troy.
I finally went to like a game last week,
Not.
and that's what everybody on campus was saying. Like they weren't sweating UCLA, but like, oh, South Alabama. I'm like, South Alabama got their butts kicked by Ohio and North Texas.
So their quarterback didn't play against Ohio U. Their
I don't
starter.
care.
I'm with you. But that is worth mentioning. They won that one. They lost 27-20.
To your point,
But then they played North Texas and lost 52-38 on their home field. I'm trying to find this game, dude.
The point is, though, it
if
doesn't
someone
like
knows the game I'm talking about, please post it. God,
it
what year was
doesn't.
that?
It doesn't matter. It goes back to your talent thing. Even a down LSU, no, it's not going to be a game. It's like, I mean, all I know, like I know by the end of the game you're going to lean. Like even if it's close, you're going to lean. You're going to win, right? I just want to avoid the Nichols rhythm.
Hey, Jeff Dunaway. Look at
the Nichols rhythm. Oh, nice moves, Jeff. Let's go, dude.
It's so stupid. Jeff Dunaway and I went to Catholic High together, and we also made up part of the most vulgar selection of LSU students in the first row of the student section in the history of LSU.
So were you all painting each other?
No, we would never paint. No,
y'all didn't do body paint?
No. But it was the most. We were the most unnecessarily, most gratuitously vulgar students ever. I don't know what they're doing now, but there's nothing that could even challenge or rival the absurdity of what we did as LSU students.
Not even STTDB?
That seems like a G-rated movie compared to what we did.
Wow.
Fair?
You sound
Fair?
like
I'm telling you, bro.
Stadium wide.
I said if what we did got caught on the stadium, they'd shut us down. Like if there were camera phone videos of what we would do in the student section, I would not have a career. Like I would not have a career at all. Like everything, yeah, that guy can't be on the air. I'm still trying to find this. Larry, I'm still trying to find this ridiculous.
You're being a little OCD about the Arkansas game. I think I understand. Like we understand what you're saying.
I'm trying to find it though.
I know. L. Ron Hubbard should not have been beating anybody 72.
It wasn't L. Ron.
That's messed up.
Somebody help me, please find this game. I want to see it. They were so bad.
Wait, what, how do you feel about the Saints on Sunday? What have you been talking about that?
About what?
About the Saints on Sunday? Because I obviously, like everybody else, I'm very worried about the offense. But I do have to remind myself this morning, like the defense is the strength of this team.
Maybe I'm excited,
and the Falcons' offense is still not great.
Maybe I'm excited that
need those videos of Scone. They don't exist, dude. No video phones.
I'm telling you, man. I'll tell you off air, like what some of the stuff we used to do.
Bring it back for whiskey and wine.
No.
Oh wow.
No. Absolutely not.
Like, are we talking like slurs? Like, I mean, what are we?
No. Come on. Just there's man.
We're doing one of them on whiskey and wine. You will tell them to me, and I will vet which ones we can do on whiskey and wine. And if we beat Ole Miss, we're doing all of them. So get ready for that.
Deal. Do you remember Sean Temple?
No.
So Sean Temple. You would have been playing still at this time. You'd been playing at LSU at this time. So Sean Temple did had a stint for Cox Sports Television for CST, primarily covering the Saints. And Sean invented a cheer that we did in the student section in that era, the late 90s, early 2000s era. That is, to this day, I would say the most unnecessarily gratuitous, vulgar chant
Sean
ever.
on blast.
And no, he knows. He's well aware. We've talked about it. We've talked about it openly. I'm not repeating the cheer, but
okay, now I have to feature this on Whiskey and Wine. Dude.
This actually would play pretty well on Whiskey and Wine.
We could teach the whole bar it. Honestly, they would know by the end of the game.
That would actually be really. I would love that actually.
Wait, but okay. So what are you saying? You just don't think the Saints have a chance on Sunday?
No. Well, the Falcons lost their center, so the Saints are going to win.
Oh, okay. It's even Stevens.
Well, I think the Saints game without their center was last week.
Yeah.
So, dude, 3 plays in, honest to goodness, 3 plays in, McCoy goes down. When they ruled he was out for the game,
Yeah.
I went and live bet the Eagles.
I mean, that's a little.
Don't care. I don't care. That is nameless, faceless at that moment. Whenever it's the center thing, that's Mike D's angle.
No, I know.
I'm in it all the time.
I
And
know.
so now the Falcons have lost their center, and so the Saints are winning on Sunday.
But beyond them losing their center, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of injury concerns offensively. I still think not having Taysom Hill was huge last week. I mean, he is the use chick of the offense. They've been using him to create so many weird mismatches. He's such a short yard. Like I firmly believe in my heart you get that 3rd or 1 or 4th and 1 at the end of the game if you have Taysom Hill in that game against the Eagles, and I think you probably win.
You got a much better chance, obviously, of converting short yards with Taysom as opposed to Alvin.
As a power quarterback.
But I still think that Dennis Allen is stupid for not kicking the field goal and taking the points.
Oh, I mean, whatever. We pretty firmly disagree with each other in those situations. It's kind of like the Commanders at the end of the day, the other day, going for it on 4th and 3, and even having a pretty messed up operation. But Jaden just calmly gets it, and then next thing you know, they end the game.
I'm not saying never go for it, but in that situation, your offense your line is getting blown up. You cannot block Jalen Carter. You're missing your best offensive lineman. It's a short yardage situation. It's a game where they haven't scored points.
Yeah.
Like in the context
But
of
you
that
know
game,
they're going to.
don't care. Because
they're
even
going
still, even if they score a touchdown now, you're a field goal away from taking a lead.
Yeah.
Instead of needing a touchdown now to take the lead.
No, I get the elements. I get it.
So look, man, I'm a believer in the objective of the game is points. The objective is points. The objective is not time of possession or yardage or game control or any of that stuff.
Well, I think
all those can be symptoms of a result, but the objective is points because every time you change the scoreboard, you change every bit of strategy in the game.
Well,
you
I know.
are dictating terms and changing
No,
how teams look at the clock. How do you go for it on a future? They're like everything about it changes when you change the scoreboard. So take the points.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly it. That's why, and everybody's saying that 7 points with all those elements.
Yes, but you're not
just
guaranteed
mentioned,
7 points.
You're not guaranteed 3.
Yes, you are. There's a much higher percentage of getting your 3 points right here than converting and still finishing the drive and scoring.
And what people that believe in going for it are telling you is that the 7 versus the 3 represents enough of a percentage advantage to outweigh the higher percentage of we can take this definite 3 or maybe 7.
But if you don't get the maybe 7, then you have overtly negatively affected your chance to win the game.
And if you do get it, you may have just won it on the spot.
But there is less of a probability of getting it. There's less probability of getting it.
That's what I'm saying. So it ultimately just comes down to you think that the 4-point difference is worth the risk. And a lot of people do. You don't.
And sometimes, and in this situation, how good would those 3 points have been at the end of the game? Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, wow.
Again, though, so
what
my
was that
original
Arkansas
point
game?
Was that if Taysom's in, I think he's good. So Taysom being back is going to be big. As long as the defense is healthy, you're going to have a chance. As long as the defense is healthy, you're going to have a chance.
I'm so mad I can't find this
I still don't think that Atlanta's offense, I mean, they haven't been very good. They're 29th in the NFL. They're only converting on 22% of their third downs. Kirk's been all right, but I'm dangerously close, boys, to calling Kirk a system quarterback since we're watching Sam Darnold look like the NFL MVP right now
How about that?
with Kevin O'Connell and
So good.
and Justin Jefferson.
So good. Do you want to do comments? We got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Curbside, by the way.
Beautiful night out here, guys.
It is really nice.
Everybody's having a great time.
I'm having a great time.
Actually, you may have to grab some comments because my
Sure.
internet,
No, I'm glad to do that.
it keeps going. I'm hotspot on my iPhone, but it keeps cutting off.
We're also brought to you by AVID Inspection Specialists. Go to avidspecialist.com. They do inspections, home inspections, hotel, commercial buildings, whatever it may be. They can do mold inspections, also asbestos. You need an inspection done. You're buying a home. For any reason you need an inspection, AVID Inspection Specialists. We appreciate them greatly. Big part of the reason why we're able to do this. Christian's been a great follower, supporter of everything we do at 104.5 ESPN and all our stuff. So big shout out, avidspecialists.com, avidspecialists.com.
And go to Bayou Transformers. Your Transformers down. We understand the cost it is to your business, right? It's not just like, we'll get to it. No, you got to get to it immediately, right? And so they stay ready to assist urgently, whether it's maintenance, reconditioning, a full replacement. I'll get you back to full power swiftly, efficiently. A 5-year warranty on all rebuilt Transformers. Rapid turnaround time. Your solution for all your Transformer needs. You visit BayouTransformers.com, BayouTransformers.com.
You know, it's funny. I just opened up Twitter, and there's all these Alabama fans now who are apparently watching the show right now, and they're tweeting at me about I'm a clown.
Oh, really?
The funniest thing is, like, they're such losers. They've been winning so much for so long that one like local radio guy in Louisiana who doesn't defer to their excellence and genuflect at the mere presence of the Crimson A.
Word.
Like, they just cannot quit me. It's almost like Brokeback Mountain.
I get it, dude.
Like, they cannot quit me. They do not know how to just disengage from me. And all that does is fuel me even more. It's hilarious. Like, they don't understand that for 8 months, I have been trolling the ever-living holy hell out of them. And they just don't understand. Like, if they would just stop reacting, I would stop. But they cannot help themselves. They're all so stupid. They're so stupid. All of them. Every single one of them are just really stupid people. And I feel bad. I feel badly, sort of, but not really, because they deserve this after the charmed existence they've lived for the last 17 years.
It's the expectation, you know? I've always talked about it.
I'm literally
literally
telling them. I'm telling you. I am trolling you.
Yeah.
And have been doing it for 8 months. And you still don't get it.
Well, but the point is,
I am telling you 2 + 2 is 4.
To them.
And you keep insisting it's 5.
But to them, this is their last stand for you could be wrong. Or the first last stand.
This guy's
the
like,
final stand, but like,
did you see them dimes Milroe was throwing against Wisconsin? Yeah, against a Big Ten school with a bunch of Big Ten dudes who are, what's Wisconsin's record right now? Have they won a game yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Congratulations, though. Congrats on Milroe for proving my point that Milroe's throwing dimes against Wisconsin. And when we've seen him play a real team, he stinks. Against Michigan last year, he looked like I was playing quarterback. I could have played quarterback against Michigan last year. And what was his stat line? Was he like 3 of 13 for 6 yards or something like that?
I hit a bad game.
Was
I
that
don't
it?
remember that.
Against Michigan?
I'm
in
saying,
the Rose Bowl?
I thought it was a close game. I thought the score was pretty close.
I have your hat.
Yeah, he went 16 of 23 for 116 yards.
What was it?
16 of 23 for 116 yards.
116 yards. Congratulations, Alabama. In the biggest game Milroe will ever play in, 16 of 23 for 116, no touchdowns, no picks. They basically spent the game hiding their quarterback.
He had 21 carries for only 63.
Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to let him just do a shovel pass for 6 yards, and then that's a completion. Like, that's what they did.
I hope you're right,
Beautiful
man.
dimes, deep balls.
I hope you're
Shout
right,
out
man.
to Dr. Marshall Sanama.
Hello, Dr. Sanama. Nice to see you.
And Gabriella. Awesome
Shout out
people.
Gabriella.
Love y'all. So Dr.
Later, guys.
Sanama.
Thanks for coming out.
Dr. Sanama is maternal fetal, phenomenal man, phenomenal family, phenomenal human. When we were pregnant with Drew and we found out everything was going to, we're going to have a lot of challenges and stuff, that man was an amazing friend.
That's
and,
awesome, man.
A true selfless servant, and I'm being very serious now from all the fun we're having with the show.
Yeah.
That man and his family mean so much to me and mine.
That's very
kind. In the darkest moments you could ever have in your life, you realize like who the people are that lift you up and that wrap you in love, and that they are amazing people. I love them much. I love them so much.
That's
still comes
sweet,
to Drew's birthday party every year.
That's cool too. That now we can be hanging out at Curbside.
I know.
Beautiful fall night.
And he came to Drew's birthday party, and he had a Phil's Oyster Bar hat, and he left it at our house. It's sitting on the hat rack at our house.
So you forgot to bring it.
Well, I didn't know he was coming
All
here.
that, and you didn't even bring the man his hat.
I didn't know he was coming here.
Worried about Jaylen Milroe.
Jaylen Milroe
You got
stinks.
Alabama brain rot.
Jaylen Milroe stinks.
You got Bama derangement syndrome.
No, I do believe. So for all the Bama fans who are now watching, I do believe Jaylen Milroe stinks.
You really do.
I would not. If the Saints drafted Jaylen Milroe, I would be devastated. Devastated. I genuinely believe he stinks.
How do you feel about the Panthers drafting Bryce Young, though? Because you were happy they traded up.
I loved so this goes contrary to what we were saying a bit ago, because I'm not always saying go a conservative route. I respected very much taking your swing. Like, shoot your shot.
Yeah.
But it's on your scouting department to get that pick right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They didn't.
No.
Well, actually, the owner didn't, right? Because apparently the scouts wanted C.J. Stroud, but owner did not.
Tepper.
Yeah.
So, like,
imagine that. Tepper making a rash decision.
Right. So I respect very much shooting your shot, because the certainty is that if you don't have an elite quarterback, you're not winning everything of significance. So you have to at least make an attempt to get that elite quarterback. So, like, the Bears.
Or you just go get Derek Carr and Clint Kubiak. Let's freaking go, dude.
Bro, how much did Derek Carr remind us that he's Derek Carr on Sunday?
I mean,
oh my God.
It's not really on him.
Yes, it is, T-Bob. Yes, it is.
He's the 18th highest paid quarterback.
Joe Burrow, as a second-year player with a bionic knee, led the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl with a sieve of an offensive line. And by the way, if he had a millisecond more time, instead of getting crushed by Aaron Donald, he throws a touchdown pass to Jamar Chase, and they win the Super Bowl.
No, I know. I'm saying
that's what elite quarterbacks do.
I'm not saying Derek Carr's elite quarterback. I'm saying he's the 18th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. You get what you pay for. I'm saying if you pay for number 18 and you tell me he can't overcome Jalen Carter dominating your line, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. The Saints offense has to work as a team to work.
I'd rather Jaylen Milroe
and they have to game plan the hell out of that thing. Yeah, hell yeah.
Because at least Jaylen Milroe could
get like a separating factor. Yeah, for sure. But that's fine. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. Maybe they can make it. Oh, thank you, Ray. Maybe just make it a little frisky. Make it a little. I don't know, man. I got faith in.
So good.
I don't know if I can outright pick the Saints to win on Sunday. Being on the road.
Why do I love them so much?
Because they're the best.
They're the best.
Shout out Nathan Rachel, dude. Love the Galeno family. Very nice, dude. Very good people. All right,
you watched the LSU USC game with them in Vegas.
We watch every game together, pretty much at Don Juan.
But you were in the sports book in Vegas. You don't even go into the game.
No,
I left the game midway through the third quarter.
I did that last week, and it's just not for me.
It's not fun. No, it's terrible. But Erica was with me in Vegas, so we went to the game and we had great seats. And I left midway through the third.
I like being at the. I like being in front of the TV, locked in, celebrate with the homies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think Mikkel Thacker came through for you in 2014. It says Arkansas 73, Nicholls 7.
I was Nicholls.
Wow.
That was it.
See, it was another.
Dude, I would thank you so much. It's like, and that 2014. By the way, that 2014 Arkansas team was teetotal poo-poo. Remember, they were the team that beat LSU on that cold night.
0. It says here. Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Yes. So LSU on the opening
was
drop.
This Arkansas team bad? They also
they
beat
were
Texas.
awful.
They beat Ole Miss 30-0.
They were an awful team.
Lost Mississippi State.
That was Bert's team, and they were terrible. That was when they beat LSU. That was their first SEC win.
Oh, in like 2 years.
Yeah, against.
But then they beat the hell out of Texas in a bowl game, 31-7.
Yeah, congrats. It's awesome. So anyway, but the point is, they were terrible, and they went and hung 70 on Nicholls. It's like, you know what? You deserve all the bad things in life for doing that. Like, you're a bad team and you go do that. You deserve the bad things in life.
This is a weird team. This team lost 14-13 to Alabama, 35-28 to Texas A&M. They beat the hell out of Texas Tech. They got their butts kicked by Auburn. They lose to Mississippi State, but then they beat LSU and Ole Miss by combined 47-0.
So the LSU game
but then they lose to Mizzou. They
one of the
weird.
That was Anthony Jennings was the
No,
quarterback.
I remember the Pelicans that Friday night put up more points than LSU had yards on Saturday. I was very mad. I'll never forget. I played the T-Wolves.
That's a good memory. That's an interesting pull. But
I only remember because it was absurd.
It was so bad.
And they would score more points than LSU had yards.
So that was the year we were in the hospital with Drew. So I was in Houston, and I would go back to the apartment to watch the games. And LSU missed a field goal on the opening drive. And it was like when they missed the field goal, the sideline just deflated, and they never got off the mat. They just totally quit. And that's Arkansas won, and they sprinted across the field to get the boot.
I remember. Hashtag Scone T. Did y'all expect both Saban and Belichick to be so good on television and both get along so well with a guy like McAfee? Yeah.
I don't know the McAfee angle, but yes, because we've seen, especially Saban.
I think they mean like, McAfee cuts up and they, and like they like.
I just haven't seen it.
Like on game day or anything. It doesn't matter.
I just don't watch.
The point is, like, Saban and Belichick are notorious for being like, if you're on their team, if you're one of their guys, they're cool and they're funny and they're super witty and like that's any. I've never met a great football coach that doesn't have the ability to like command a room like that, right? So no, I'm not shocked at all.
I want to tell you a story. I'm not going to tell you the principles behind this story, but I'm going to tell you Nick Saban's story. So this is someone who was on a recruiting trip with Nick Saban. Okay, they're in a rural town. This is a person in the car with Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't even tell you what school he was coaching at the time. Okay. But I will tell you, I 100%, like this is you would have to just trust me that this is a 100% credible person that was in the car with Nick on a recruiting trip.
Okay.
Okay. Telling me this story. So they're in a rural place and they're driving and they have to get gas. So they stop. This guy goes in to get whatever, comes back out, and Nick Saban is talking to two guys just on the stoop, smoking cigarettes with him, and they're just like,
he used to be a
rapping
notorious smoker back in the day.
But they're just like rapping back and forth, like he's, like,
bro, you're not the greatest recruiter of all time because you can't talk and entertain.
The opinion of Nick being like the yelling guy and in the press conference, and Belichick the mumbling, like that's the image they want to put forward in a press conference and how
and you saw Nick soften with age. Belichick kind of didn't.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's
like
true.
Nick started to be like, but no, he always had that BS ability, of course. West Virginia, bro. You think that dude can't spin a yarn?
I mean, that's kind of so. No, I'm not surprised at all that he's great on TV. And if you actually paid attention, not to say you didn't pay attention, I just mean like universally, right? Like if you would watch him whenever, like if Alabama wasn't in the playoff and they brought him up, on
he
set,
was always really good on the set.
Always awesome. I mean,
and
it was
he
like I'm not
understood
surprised
what that was like in terms of recruiting as well. Even seen on the sets. How about this? LSU had an Olympic gold medalist commit to them today.
That's awesome.
Hesley Rivera.
That's awesome.
In gymnastics. Go Jake Clark, baby. Let's go, dude.
I do love LSU gymnastics.
I do too. It's like my daughter's most fun thing. They freaking love it. It's sick though, man. Jay put in that extra overtime. That's great.
Are you watching the NIL documentary?
No, I heard we're all over it. I've not watched it.
I think I watched one
I'm trying to finish Rings of Power first. I think it's really good this season.
I watched late last night. I think there's 6 episodes. I think I'm 4 into it. They put some of us on there. By the way, like I mentioned this, they didn't ask permission to use our stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That is very much.
Is it not public domain?
No, it's copyrighted material.
Oh.
Like they took our stuff and put it in this documentary without permission. I mean, technically, if we wanted to go sue them, we could. I'm not going to, but like, technically, you could
pay me,
right? I mean, but anyway, no, I know, no, it's great.
But actually,
it's cool. It's cool that we're
no, it is.
No, it's cool that we're. But yeah, like it was mostly all like the Jaden Heismans, like when they lost to Bama and he got hurt. Like they had me saying his Heisman odds are done because like he didn't.
Yeah.
Like so like he literally no longer has Heisman odds on the board. So they use some of that stuff. They had one of you kind of doing like a Friday hype, like one of those type things, like
for sure.
Go get it done, like one of those type things.
I heard that.
But it was cool. Cool.
That's my thing. Just yell really loud,
Me too.
Yeah, true.
Look at that.
True. What is this? Is this
I
you
don't know.
ranting about 2014 Arkansas?
Probably. Or Jaylen Milroe.
Ask Scone and T. Did Scone ever interview T-Bob or Hester while they were playing? I did an interview after the national championship with you. That's the first one that I remember.
With me?
Yeah, right after all the drama. I remember I wanted to like get ahead of it. And you reached out to me and I was like, yeah, because I wanted to be like,
No.
bro, I have no idea what's going on.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it is. I promise you. I swear. I know
You
for a
came
fact.
on my show?
Yeah, I remember exactly where it was. It was pretty immediately. Probably the only other show I did before that was my guy Steak Shapiro out of Atlanta.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
I do
I
remember.
was very honest about just like everything.
Well, I guess so you would have been done playing.
Yeah, I was done playing.
So you could have come on. Yeah. So like sometimes I think these talks would be like way more interesting than even us talking about sports because we do it all the time. But when Les was the coach, so I like sort of somewhat, I don't know, notoriously, infamously have never had the sitting LSU head coach on my show.
Oh, wow.
So Les never did interviews.
No.
Like Les knew me, but I like, because I was always around, but I bet if you, like one time he asked Gordy if he could go on Gordy's show. Like he like didn't even realize like Gordy didn't do a show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like he asked Gordy Ross, like, Gordy, I want to come on your show and talk. Like he didn't realize Gordy didn't do a show. So like I think like Les knew me. I don't think he actually knew like what I did though, And then Ed, well, we didn't really see eye to eye. And then there was one time at Media Days, I think it was Ed's. I guess
What
it had
about
to be,
BK? You haven't had BK media days or anything?
It had to be 17. I interviewed BK one-on-one at this year at Media Days just with a handheld in the holding room, but not like on Radio Row. But Ed in 17, so his first year when he became full-time, they came down to Radio Row. Were you with us then?
Hmm? No, I was not. I wasn't
You
until
were
he
still
got
at L?
hired full-time. When he got hired,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
full-time.
right. Well, you were with
Derek
us.
Left.
Well, you were with us, and then you left, and then you came back.
Yeah, but the only reason I got the opportunity to come back was because Derek left to go work.
I couldn't
L.
remember if it was the first.
No, 17. I was in now. I was in New Orleans.
But that's when Derek had left.
Well, that's when I came. Or then at the end of 16, like whenever.
Yeah,
whatever.
so this would have been summer of 17. Anyway, so they come to Radio Row.
We were not sent to SEC Media Days, I don't think, at first.
In 17?
I don't think so.
I think
I got in trouble. That was a good learning lesson for me because I think I might have sent profanity-laced text message to my bosses.
Why would you do that?
What? Because I was young and I was angry.
Oh, man.
It was one time I did that. I don't know if that was 17,
To
but I definitely
who?
did that one time to Gordy.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Don't do that.
Guys, you got to learn,
Yeah, you do. So you just hope your mistakes don't cost you long-term, stuff like that. So anyway, so Ed, LSU, they're coming to Radio Row, and obviously we're the Baton Rouge station when I have him on. I know Ed is not going to come on with me. And so, but Jimmy and Ed have been close for a long time. So I say, Jimmy, look, I'll give you the headset. Like you can interview him. Like I'll leave my show. You can do it.
Yeah.
Because we got to have the LSU coach on our air. And as it happened, like he did end up put the headset on, and we talked for like 2 minutes. I asked him an Arden Key question. So I guess this counts.
And that was it?
I asked him about Arden Key because remember Key had the shoulder injury,
Yeah.
and then there was those type of things. I asked him that, and then maybe just like it was like 2 minutes, and that was it. And then as he left, when I asked him the Arden Key, he goes, "That's all veteran answers that question." I was like, Okay. All right.
Oh man, it's yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know why we started that. Why did we start
I
that?
can't remember either. We were talking about Saban and Belichick now going to the media and head coaches and just having them on air, and they're just, you know, and we were talking about under Miles, and Miles never went on air because he didn't have to.
Oh, someone asked if you would ever come on my show.
Yes.
And I said, I was saying, so you never, like when you were a player, Les never gave us access. We never had players on the radio ever. So that's why. So when you finished, I probably would have reached out and been like, hey, do you want to come on the show?
You did.
Okay,
You did.
so that's right.
I remember.
I do remember I went on with you and Christian on 3WL. This was it, because I remember. I don't remember. So this was 2014 because it was when I was in Houston.
Oh, wow.
And I went on with y'all in the morning, one morning before I went over to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And we ended up talking about if I used a loofah or if I used a bar soap.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds right for an early. God, if I had to go listen myself on 3WL, I would probably like a black hole collapse inward on myself.
So
out of cringe.
One of the reasons that I have, you like, have you ever looked? So at Guarantee, we have a shared drive, which is like all of our saved audio and everything. Have you ever looked at the size of my shared drive folder?
No.
Muse, turn on your mic. What percentage of the shared drive content is my folder?
I might be able to check that actually right here.
The Z drive?
Okay. Just
the Z drive.
Just ballpark it.
I mean, I would say it's over 50%. I would say it's
the
at
whole
least
share
over 50%.
It's like just my folder.
What are you saving there? Just interviews and stuff, or like
what
are
is
you
saving
whole shows?
Everything.
Yeah.
Whole shows?
Everything.
So you're like one of those guys like anal about cataloging everything?
It's not even that. It's just that, like, why wouldn't you want a record of all the, like, I mean, you can go back and pull up interviews I did like with Panamsky in 2010. It's there. Wow. You know what I mean?
What did we find the other day? We found an old interview that you did, and I can't remember. Oh, it was like from 2012.
Terrio?
Maybe it was. We found Ryan's first appearance ever on the show.
Yeah,
I know we found that.
That was in 2010. I remember that well.
I know we found that, but there was something
14 years ago.
There was something more recent that we found. It was from like 2013, 2014 in that range. Because you were even like, this was a remote show from Houston.
That would have been 14.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was, but we went back and found
Steve Young.
Man, I don't. It was relevant to something we were doing on the show that day.
I don't know.
And you had me find it in a break.
Anyway,
something.
The point is,
how do you feel when you listen back to that stuff?
It's hilarious, dude. My voice is so high pitched. It's so funny, man.
Probably talking about like is a hot dog a sandwich.
We had this thing for a while, like weren't we going to do something with terror? We got to stop this show.
There
was a segment we were going to do with Terrio that was like,
because it was on the anniversary of AFR. We were going to try and find something good, like a deep cut or something.
That's what we called a deep cut,
and it never really caught on. It never caught on.
You have to find something really worth doing. But
we had a couple that hit, but I don't know. We did it for like a month, and it never caught on.
Yeah, strikes and gutters.
Yeah,
take your shot. All right, shout out to Curbside. I love it coming here.
We'll get one more question. Ryan Sallis is asked Scone T. Do you think that Kelly, with the way that he treats transfer portal and NIL, is think that Kelly will win with the way he treats transfer portal and NIL? He says he's still trying to dictate college football, and it works out in our best interest, or it's slowly going to hurt us more. No, I think Kelly's very forward thinking. I think he's trying to do what you see all the great kind of coaches that are craving consistency and stability that are in traditional powers are doing, where you still try to build through high school mainly, and then you fill in the corners with the portal and NIL. I think that in some situations LSU doesn't have the money that some of these other schools have, and to win some of the bigger battles. So like maybe there's some adjustments that have to be made to the process, but I don't think it's I don't view Kelly as being somebody who's stubborn or like beholden to the past. I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's pretty forward thinking.
I think if it works, meaning blending recruiting through high school, supplement through the portal that works. I think that's the best way to do it. It's what Kirby is currently doing. He just already had a jump start because he had already had the roster in place for this portal NIL era, right? I mean, that's ideally what you want to do. But Kirby had already done that and established himself when all this new wave came in. Kelly's trying to do it as that's happening right now.
Yes.
And as I've said pretty consistently, the challenge is, okay, you get 5-star Lance Hurd and he leaves after a year. How different do you feel today about Will Campbell going pro after this year if you have Lance Hurd ready to go?
I was going to say this, dude. People are over having the tackles are awesome. But guess what? You lose guys every year.
No doubt.
And you replace guys every
But
year.
how differently do you feel about losing 4 starters if Lance Hurd is there? That's
for sure.
Or Walker Howard, who is a 5-star who left. I understand they're good, but
I like Tyree Adams. I thought
it's good.
Paul looked good. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's good.
It's and I've touched Brad Davis. I guess that's where my real security comes
agree.
from. That's just Brad Davis. All right, we should go.
Land the plane, T-Bob.
Thank you to Curbside for having us out here. Beautiful fall night, guys. Really starting to feel good out here.
I know.
Shout out to AVID Inspection Specialists. I'll let Matt do the heavy lifting on that. Shout out Bayou Transformers. Again, guys, immediately, if it's reconditioning, maintenance, full replacement, get you back to full power right away. 5-year warranty. BayouTransformers.com, BayouTransformers.com.
AvidSpecialist.com.
It's like a biker gang out here earlier on crotch rockets.
I know. That's not a biker gang.
No, they were like 10 or 12.
I know,
crotch
but if
rockets.
it's crotch rockets, it's not a biker gang.
Well, what it's some sort of gang.
What kind of gang?
A crotch gang.
You're going to walk right in front of the
can't make
camera.
any of my
That's a camera.
jokes.
That's what that is. It's a camera right there.
Sorry.
You're all
You're
good,
good, bro.
You're
good,
all,
bro.
you're all good. All
We're
right.
wrapping up.
All right.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Hit the like button.
Yeah, like the
sub
button.
to the channel.
Like the button.
Subscribe
Subscribe.
to the pod. Share with your friends. And a huge thank you for
Smash the like button. Subscribe to the
being
channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Thank you for being there with us. Shout out to Curbside. All of our sponsors are linked in the description and tagged on Facebook. Y'all have an awesome night. Thanks to Muse as well.
Yeah, shout out Moose. Thank you, dude.
Muse.
And shout out
If Nick,
to
listen,
Jay Clark getting Hesley Rivera.
if Skip Bertman calls him Muse, we're calling him Muse.
True. Very true.
That's why he is Muse. All right. See ya. Bye.
Muse.